Starting a business is a big step for anyone to take, as it may require leaving the comfort and security of a regular job for a more uncertain financial future. There are those who have taken the step but are operating their businesses informally. Some think formalizing their businesses is expensive, while others do not know how to go about it. Many have lost potential business that could have taken their enterprises to the next level because they have no formal structure. Now, how do you turn your business idea into a successful business? What are the steps required to launch a business venture? What structure is suitable for your business? Hello and welcome to Fifth Row with Reggie. Please subscribe to the channel. Whilst the idea of entrepreneurship may seem appealing, kindly note that not everyone can be an entrepreneur. There are traits that successful entrepreneurs possess, and these set them apart. Young people who desire to start their own businesses should honestly evaluate their abilities and predispositions before embarking on that route. Now, having said that, let's go back to the subject of the day. Starting a business entails understanding and dealing with many issues, from legal, financing, sales and marketing, intellectual property protection, to human resources, among others. In this guide, we are going to look at 11 essential steps you need to take in starting your business. This will be a two-part presentation covering everything you need to know in order to launch a successful and profitable business. In part 1, we look at how to research and find a perfect business idea, how to test your idea with adequate market research, writing a business plan, choosing your business legal structure, how to pick and register your business, applying for licenses and permits. Then in part 2, we will look at how to obtain funding for your business, what you need to consider in assembling your team, choosing and setting up your business location, learning how to manage your finances, running and promoting your business. Step 1. Research and find a business idea. We have two types of budding entrepreneurs. First are those who have discovered an amazing business idea but are not sure about the process of launching a new business. Second are those who are determined to go into business but have no idea what kind of business to start. So, the first step is to decide on the perfect business idea, and this can be done by asking yourself a few primary questions such as: what skills do you have? This might be your hobby or passion, skills from a previous job, your area of specialization, or a particular natural talent. It might also be the case of you and your business partners bringing complementary skills to the table. What need could you fill? As you look around, what product or service do you see as missing in the market? For a business to be successful, it must solve a problem, fulfill a need, or offer something the market wants. What resources are at your disposal? Starting a business requires significant investment in resources. With what you have, you can determine business opportunities with minimum expenses and maximum profitability. Are there other companies offering similar products or services? You can break into an industry with existing players by doing something better or different than they are doing. You don't always have to be the first entrant in a particular industry. What is the competition like? How will your business fit into the market? Your answers to these questions will help you narrow your focus. But please note, this step is not meant to dissuade you from starting your business. Rather, it is to get you thinking and planning. In order to start a successful business, passion alone is not enough. You need to plan, set goals, and above all, know yourself. You could conduct a SWOT analysis on yourself to figure out your strengths and your weaknesses and how these will affect the day-to-day running of your business. Step 2. Test your idea with adequate market research. After developing your business idea, you need to run it through a validation process before you proceed. This involves conducting market research and seeing what actual customers think. It is a process that encompasses getting information about who your customers are and what they want or need. It is very important to understand your customer base from the onset. Market research lets you reduce risk whilst your business is still just an idea. You need to gather demographic information to better understand opportunities and limitations for gaining customers. This could include population data on age, incomes, family, interests, and anything else that is relevant to your business. By answering the following questions, you then get a good sense of your market. Demand. Is there desire for your product or service? Market size. How many people would be interested in your offering? Economic indicators. What is the income range and employment rates? Location. Where do your customers live and where can your business reach? Market saturation. How many similar options are already available to customers? Pricing. What do potential customers pay for these alternatives? You can do market research using existing information, or you can do the research yourself through surveys and adverts. Findings from your market research will form part of your business plan. Step 3. Writing a business plan. Once you have decided on the business idea to pursue, you need to create a solid business plan and follow it all the way through. A business plan is a blueprint that will guide your business from the startup phase through establishment and eventually business growth. There are too many types of business plans. 1. A traditional business plan. A traditional business plan, which is a great option for those seeking financial support from investors or financial institutions. B. A simple business plan. A simple business plan is all you need if you don't need financial aid from investors or banks. It serves the purpose of giving you some clarity about your goals and the ways of achieving them. When done correctly, the process of writing business plan will lead you to refining your idea into something much more resilient and clearer, which promises future success. There are 10 key questions you will need to answer as you go through the process of creating the business plan. 1. What does your business do? Once you have a business idea, you would want to take a moment to write out what product or services your business offers. 2. What is your target market? This is the group of people whom your business is meant to serve. The more specifically you can answer this question, the better you will be able to create products, services, and marketing campaigns that meet the needs of your demographic. Who are the competitors? It is extremely important to research and find out who your main competitors are from the onset and how their businesses are similar or different from yours. This research will save you from generating a business model that is similar to an already existing alternative. What is your unique value proposition? In other words, what is it about your business that will cause your customers to choose you over your competitors? How will your customers find you? This forms the foundation of a business marketing strategy. You might think about advertising your online presence as well as simple word of mouth. What resources will you need? You need to consider resources required to create your product and provide your service. This includes equipment, physical space, employees, and many more. It is advisable to list all the one-time and recurring expenses you are likely to incur as part of your cost of doing business. How will your business make money? You need to create a business model which determines how your business will generate revenue, cover expenses, and eventually make more money than it spends. How long will it take you to make a profit? You need to create revenue focus that determine how long it takes to recover your initial investment, that is break even, and run a profitable business. Financial projections will help you estimate how much revenue and profit your business will make 3 to 5 years in the future. What values will you compromise? Values are the beliefs, philosophies, principles that drive your business. Putting your business core values on paper from the onset helps you and your people to function together as a team and work towards a common business goal. What is your end game? You have to consider where you want to end up and by when. These plans will inform many of your business decisions along the way. The business plan should outline your long-term goals, your end game, as well as the steps you ought to take to get there. Step 4. Choose your business legal structure. To formalize your business venture, you first need to decide on the business entity structure. The structure you choose will impact on how you register your business, the roles of different team members, and how you can be held liable in the event of a legal claim against your business. Given the long-term and potential impact of your chosen business structure, it is advisable to consult a business expert or a lawyer to help you make an informed choice. Let's look at available business structure options in Zimbabwe. A. Sole proprietor or sole trader. This is the most basic form of business structure as it requires no paperwork. You own the business in your own individual capacity. You can employ staff, but you retain full responsibility and ownership of the business. This structure is appropriate for new entrepreneurs who are just starting out and have no resources to facilitate business registrations. Most informal and micro businesses are sole proprietorship. This form of business has 4 advantages, namely that you make all the decisions, you keep all the profits, the business is easy to set up, and there are relatively few regulations to be complied with. The disadvantages are that you have to raise all the capital by yourself. You have unlimited liability and you will be personally liable for the business debts. Unless the business's employees, it will be unable to run in your absence. Furthermore, you will have difficulties getting contracts from bigger businesses which prefer to deal with registered companies. Financiers are also not willing to invest in sole proprietorship. Please note that as a sole trader, you still need to get things like tax clearance in your personal name, as well as proper licenses which are mandatory for your type of business, such as shop license, liquor license, city health certificate, and other such licenses. B. Partnership. If you are going to start your business with one or more other people, you could form a partnership. This is similar to a sole trader, with all the partners sharing the responsibility for managing the business. The liabilities of the business are shared personally between all the partners. Although partnership requires no formal registration, it is wise to have a written agreement in case of future disputes. A partnership has the following advantages. A bigger investment into the business as 2 or more people pool their resources together. Work is shared. The business continues if one partner dies or is unavailable. Sleeping partners can help set up the business. The disadvantages are that profits have to be shared between the partners. Disagreements may occur and there's still unlimited liability. C. Cooperatives. A cooperative is a business organization owned and operated by a group of individuals for their mutual benefit. In a cooperative, members should have a close association with the enterprise, either as producers or consumers of its products or services, or even as its employees. In Zimbabwe, cooperatives are governed by Cooperative Societies Act, Chapter 2405. Cooperatives must register with the Registrar of Cooperatives and must comply with local bylaws. D. Companies. This is the most common business structure. The popularity of the company arises from the principle of limited liability. A company is a legal persona, meaning that it can sue or be sued and liquidated without shareholders' personal assets being touched, unless in circumstances where there's been fraud or improper conduct. There are two main types of company. One, private limited company, where members' liability is limited to the amount unpaid on shares they hold or the amount they have agreed to contribute to the company's assets. 2. Public limited company. The company's shares may be offered for sale to the general public, and members' liability is limited to the amount unpaid on shares held by them. The private limited liability company is the most common form of business structure, and members should not exceed 50. The Companies Act, Chapter 2403, governs companies in Zimbabwe. The disadvantage of a company is the cost of registration and the need to comply with statutory requirements of submitting returns, maintaining records, and ensuring that the company is legally constituted at all times. Private Business Corporation, PBC. The cost of setting up a private business corporation is low, and there is no complicated statutory returns to be submitted like those of a company. It is limited liability, can sue and be sued, and is accepted by most institutions and organizations. It can get tax registration, tax clearance certificate, and VAT registration if it meets the thresholds. It can participate in government and private tenders just like a company. It is governed by the Private Business Corporation Act, Chapter 2411, and its members should not exceed 20. When the business grows, you can easily upgrade your PBC into a company and keep the same name. You need to weigh your options and decide on the most appropriate structure for your business. My advice is to formalize your business as soon as possible in order to enjoy the opportunities that are only available to formal businesses. It is good to know that whatever structure you decide on, you are still required to register with the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority, ZIMRA, and pay your taxes. Local authorities and all other relevant statutory bodies expect you to buy business licenses and pay appropriate levies and fees. Step 5. Pick and register your business name. After deciding on the legal structure of your business, the next step is to register your business. Taking care of these legal obligations from the very beginning will save from great hassles in future. Here are tasks you will need to take care of to get your business legally established with proper statutory and regulatory registrations. A. How to choose a name for your business. You cannot have a business without a business name. The process of choosing a perfect business name is by no means easy. The main purpose of a name should be to communicate what services you offer whilst being easy to remember and unique if possible. Customers associate a business name with the value it provides to them. Here are a few tips to keep in mind. Be descriptive but not too general or vague. Don't choose a name that is too vague or too meaningful. Keep it simple. Don't choose a name that is too long or complicated. Remember that your business name needs to be appealing to your customers. It should sound pleasant, familiar, and conjure up positive emotions. It also needs to be easy to pronounce and remember. Don't copy your competitors. Avoid choosing a name too similar to other businesses in your industry. It can appear to be unoriginal, which is not good for your brand image. It can also mean potential customers confuse your business with your competition, making it more difficult to get repeat work. Avoid using your own name. Unless you are an established brand, avoid using your own name. Your name does not communicate anything about your business and won't mean much to potential customers. This may even cause problems if you ever want to sell your business in future, or even if you wish to expand. Choose a name that is scalable. Pick a name that you can grow your business with. You might be selling books today, but might one day sell stationery products and accessories. If your service is based on a certain area, you might extend to other cities. For example, establishing a business called Harare Parts Private Limited. What then happens when you open a branch in Bulawayo? So select a broad name that can encompass your future growth. A business name is only your first step towards building a brand. Though it will give your business a good first impression, it is up to you to meet the customer expectations and bring your business to success. B. Name search. A request is made to the Registrar of Companies office for a search to be made in the Register of Companies. The following is applicable at the name search stage. The purpose of an application for reservation of name is to get the authority of the registrar to use a particular name. If the registrar approves your application to reserve a name, he will reserve the name for you for a period of up to 2 months to enable you to register your company. You are advised to give 5 names in your application so that if one name is not acceptable or available, another may be. You should list the names in order of preference. The registrar will not accept a name which is similar to that of another company or PBC, or is likely to mislead the public or is indecent. The registrar will give a written notice of whether any of your names were acceptable and if they were rejected. This process normally takes 3 to 6 working days. C. Procedure for registration of a PBC. Registration of the PBC must be submitted to the Registrar of Companies. This process involves the appointment of members, which is shareholders or directors of the PBC. Each member is assigned a percentage of ownership in the PBC. The total percentage for all members must add up to 100%. The registrar will then register the PBC and assign it a registration number. PBC is entered into the Carbon Registry and becomes searchable in the registrar's database. This process takes 3 to 6 working days. D. Procedure for registration of a private limited company. After your name has been successfully reserved, the memorandum and articles of association signed by the shareholders, together with the CR6 and CR14 signed by either a director or secretary of the company, are submitted to the Registrar of Companies. Each shareholder must sign in their own handwriting and specify the number of shares they have been allocated. The registrar will then register the PLC and assign to it a registration number. A certificate of incorporation is also issued. The registrar will put his seal, his stamp, and his signature to the certificate of incorporation, memorandum and articles of association, and the CR6 and CR14 to signify their authenticity. The PLC is also entered into the common registry and becomes searchable in the registrar's database. This process again takes 3 to 6 working days. Step 6. Apply for licenses and permits. After common registration with the registrar's office, there will be other statutory requirements to fulfill. The first one being Zimbabwe Revenue Authority, ZIMRA. All clients, including individuals, companies, partnerships, and cooperatives who want to venture into any business are required to register with ZIMRA, complying with all obligations as stipulated in the legislation. To satisfy these obligations, you need to register for tax and get a BP number, tax clearance certificate, and bank advice note, which is used to open a bank account. Thereafter, you will need to submit tax returns, file for payee, QPDs, and VAT. The Zimbabwean government and city councils and other organizations require individuals and companies, partnerships, and cooperatives carrying out business to meet certain industry-specific statutory obligations as stipulated in various legislations depending on the type of business or industry. To satisfy these obligations, you need to get business, health registrations, and shop licenses from local authorities. Other registrations include: you need to register with the relevant National Employment Council NEC for employer and employee dispute management and thereafter submit monthly returns. You are also required to register with National Social Security Authority, NASA, for pension and workers' compensation insurance, and thereafter submit monthly returns. To be able to supply and participate in government tenders, you need to register with the Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe, PRAZ, formerly State Procurement Board, SPB. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to the channel.